Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Caesar.
And I'm Catalina. And this is Logan. He is our 8-month-old. Hi, can you say hi? But when we started baby-led weaning, he was 5 months.
He is the reason for this video today. Today we're sharing how we did baby-led weaning with Logan when he was 5 months and any tips for parents who are thinking about trying it. So this is our journey. We are not any medical professionals. This is just how it went for us. We used some sources and we'll share those sources in the video, but we just wanted to share our journey because we know it can be scary, or some people are just curious and they want to know what it's like before they start for their baby. So this is how it went for us. So why did we choose baby-led weaning? Especially that versus traditional purees, right? One, we feel like it encourages independence. Two, there's less prep. So don't get me wrong, of course it's still prepping, you gotta make the food, but you're not making separate food for the baby. Guess what? That's also with part 3 is you get to eat together. So the prep is whatever you guys are gonna eat. Guess what? You can feed the baby as well.
I think for me, number 3 was one of the main reasons I wanted to, was I just wanted them to be exposed to all the foods that we usually eat for our meals. And I think the best way to do that was to just introduce them early to what we're eating. And if we can grab a piece of what we're eating and just modify it for their safety and what they can eat, then it was a lot easier that way. And then we didn't have to worry about, them not liking things later on. Like, they're trying and exploring, but it's just nice to see that they're eating the foods that we're eating every day. And it's fun to see that we're all in community, just eating all of the food together, the same meal together. And I think that was like one of the main reasons for me.
And they're coming into our lives. So if we want to go out at a restaurant that we like, guess what? They're gonna like the food. We just didn't want to have to deal with, we have to pick something that the boys like or something that has chicken nuggets and fries because that's all they eat, right? No, they eat everything that we eat. So.
Yeah. And this is our second time. So we have a 2-year-old who we also did the baby-led weaning with, and it was a complete success. And I can say that now that he's older, especially because he's 2, but he's a foodie. He eats everything. We will go anywhere and he's just eating off of our plates. Like, he eats crab, lobster, ceviche, fish ceviche, steak.
He's expensive.
Yeah.
He's expensive.
Yes. He likes his favorite is asparagus. He eats quinoa and rice and tortillas and plátanos, and he eats everything. And that's because we started with the baby-led weaning young, and we've been consistent with it, and he just loves it. And it's so nice. And we just, he's a foodie, and it's so much fun to watch him eat, and he just has good taste and healthy taste. Like, we don't feed him all that processed stuff, but every once in a while, but he just knows like whole food is his main diet, and it's been like that since he was little. And it's just nice to be able to have that for a 2-year-old. So because we've already done this before, we knew that we're gonna do this with our second baby, and we just highly recommend it to anyone, so they can have a little foodie at 2 years old also.
And we didn't go alone. We used Solid Starts.
Solid Starts is the best.
So Catalina, of course, she's an amazing mom. She's always doing research and the best things for our babies, our kids. And so she came across Solid Starts. I don't know how, but she came across Solid Starts. Solid Starts is a great resource. They have an app. You literally can, if whatever food you're going to feed your child, for example, if you put a banana, it has it in there and it tells you how to feed them a banana using baby-led weaning. So at 6 months, you want to give them a whole banana, for example. At around 9 months and above, you want to cut them into pieces or whatever the case is. So literally there, it tells you exactly how you can give them each food according to their age or even to their development. Because what we learned with Logan is it's crazy. We started at 5 months. I think traditionally they say to start kind of introducing kids to purees around 6 months. But he was just showing a lot of interest early on. And I feel like, I'm not going to advance is the wrong word, but he was just bypassing that 6-month mark quickly. I guess because he started so early, he was, I'm going on Solid Starts and I'm like, he is doing things differently. So I'm like, we're adjusting based off of how he's eating too. So it's just a guide. It's not perfect, but it's a guide to help you so you know how to start, where to begin, and you just follow along as to your comfort.
Yeah, and they say that you know your baby best, so you get their advice and use it for your baby and how they're developing. So like we mentioned earlier with Logan, we started at 5 months. It is a little early, like Caesar mentioned, but we did consult with our pediatrician, and they said it was fine. So we did start him a little early, but he was just ready. And there's like certain signs of readiness that you're supposed to look for, and he was hitting all of them pretty quickly. Yeah.
I joke around. I call him a little monster, but in a good way. And just because he's been completely different from our first one, he's hitting his milestones quicker.
And
he's
trying to keep up with brother.
I think he's motivated. He's motivated, definitely. So one of those signs of readiness that he was showing was he was sitting up independently. He was starting to sit up. He was a little wobbly, but he was able to sit up. So that's important. He had to have a clear airway or whatever you call it. So they shouldn't be crouched down and eating. They should be sitting up straight. The second one was head control. He had good head control, so he was holding his head up already. Another thing is he was showing interest in food.
A lot of interest.
We used to sit him in our lap and eat, and then it came to a point where he was following the spoon. And he was trying to grab our hand and
watching her mouth.
Yeah, once the food went into her mouth, he was just staring at us, watching to see what we were doing. So he was showing a lot of interest in food, and of course, bringing items to mouth. He was just doing that already too. He just showed very early on that he was ready, and Mama needed a little break too, I think.
Yeah, Mom was tired from breastfeeding.
Mom was tired.
The milk was not holding him over anymore.
Yeah.
He would just eat, and he was hungry like right away. And
so we knew. Okay, we needed a little bit extra just to keep him full through the day.
Mom was tired.
Yeah.
So the first food that we gave Logan was actually the same first food we gave Luca, which was a banana. My little monkeys, and he loved it. A banana they're just like easy, safe, like
you mash it, add a little bit of breast milk because he was still breastfeeding.
Yeah, he was exclusively breastfeeding, so we added some breast milk in there and kind of made it a little easier for him to consume. And he loved the banana.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll see. I think he was shook. He tried it and he couldn't believe what he tried.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Mama's trying.
I'm trying.
Leave her alone.
I can't work under these conditions.
This is day 2. He wants more. Oh, hey. Don't do that.
He does that even for breast milk.
This is day 2. Day 1, he ate like half a banana, maybe a little less.
No, less, a third.
So it was like a third of a banana, but he didn't even finish it. He kind of even got uninterested. So we're like, all right, he's done. Give him the same thing today. That's the result.
I'm going.
You're addicted.
He said, I'm hungry.
Yeah. I think he stared at us, and remember, I feel like in his head, he was just like, what have you been holding on?
I could have been eating this. Yeah. What's wrong with you guys?
I've only been getting breast milk.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? It was the funniest reaction. So I couldn't believe it. It was adorable.
We cried.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Was not expecting to cry, not even a million years, but because our babies were so close in age, like it felt like, hey, we were just doing this with Luca, and Luca's sitting there on Caesar's lap as I'm feeding Logan, and I'm just thinking, we were just doing this with Luca, and I just gave birth to Logan, and here I am giving him fruit and solid food for the first time, and it just made us emotional. Like I think with our second, because you were just more aware of the time as they're hitting their milestones, it's incredible. It's great. I feel so blessed that they are hitting their milestone, because that means that they're healthy. But Mom was getting emotional, and then I'm crying, right? Because I cried everything that has to do with my boys. Then I look over and then Caesar's crying, and I just was not expecting that at all. But it was it felt like we just had Logan, and then all of a sudden we're giving him food, and it just
so big. What is going on?
My eyes are getting watery now thinking about it. Oh gosh.
Other feelings that we're feeling. I mean, we're excited. It's always exciting just because it's, you know, you're starting a new stage, you're starting something new for them. And so of course there's excitement, but there's also fear. It's also very scary because your baby can choke and you have to be ready for that. So it's still very scary when you're doing it.
They're learning to chew and to eat. So it's a new skill for them.
But that's the whole point, is you're teaching them, that way they know and they can do it, and then later on to prevent choking.
So because it was so scary, we just wanted to be prepared. And what we did is I'm a nurse, so I'm already CPR certified. But Caesar and my family, actually, my sisters, my brothers, my parents, they did not my mom. My mom taught the CPR class. She's a nurse also. But my mom taught a CPR class for my family, so that they are CPR certified just in case of any emergency. They teach you how and what to do if a baby is choking. So that made us feel a lot better.
They're the people that are going to be around him, so we felt more comfortable. If, of course, we're the main ones that are going to be feeding them, but in case that we weren't looking, we wanted to feel comfortable knowing that at least everyone's CPR certified, and they would know how to help if one of our babies was choking.
Everyone should be CPR certified, because you never know.
We recommend it. You feel so much better, and we've had to use it. And there's been times where we're like, okay, he's choking. They're not swallowing the piece correctly, and we've had to use what we learned to help. And thankfully, it hasn't been anything crazy. Everything comes out right away. I think it's mainly us freaking out. But still, because we have the knowledge, we've been like, all right, let's get on. He needs help.
And then another thing that we got is this. It's called the Life Pack. We saw it on TikTok first, but basically, like, it's supposed to help if a baby is choking. Now, it's not supposed to take place of CPR. You need to know CPR. This is in case the CPR, the back blows for the infants and the babies, is not working. Then you can use this, but it's not supposed to take over knowing CPR. Can't say that enough. This is just a backup to our plan. This is a plan B.
For emergencies.
In case, like, I've seen it where there was a little boy who had a piece of hard candy stuck in he was choking on, and they used this on him. So it just makes us feel better. Like, we are CPR certified, but it just makes me feel better and prepared that we have this. So we keep this in this closet back here. When my sisters or my mom watch the boys, we told them they know where it's at. They know how to use it. So it's just to be prepared. Now, there is a big difference between choking and gagging. And that's something that you really have to be careful with.
Since it's a new food or new textures, babies will gag, or it tickles the back of their throat and they're trying to learn how to swallow it. But there are some signs, so your baby is choking if they're changing color. They shouldn't be changing color. Some will turn red because they're kind of gagging. Of course, when you're gagging, it doesn't feel good. You make whatever faces you make, but if your baby starts turning blue, that obviously is a sign of choking. But for baby-led weaning, you kind of want to give them the opportunity to try to clear it. They recommend, as you're eating, teaching them how to kind of stick out their tongue, so that if you do feel like they're choking or if you feel like they're gagging, then that practice that you've had where you're showing them kind of showing them how to try to spit out the food, they'll hopefully have that down and they're able to do it themselves. We can't recommend solid starts enough. It's such a great tool. But definitely do some other research and just look at other videos on that. Okay, so some of our baby's favorite foods, of course, fruits, right? There's sugar in fruits. Of course, almost any baby is gonna like fruit. So because of that,
slow down.
Baby-led weaning over here. Our baby's having a snack and he did a little cough. So see, there's an example. He coughed. You look, evaluate. He's fine. He's acting completely normal. He's still moving. He's not choking. Good job, baby.
Get more food.
Favorite foods, of course, they're going to go to their fruits, right? Bananas, blueberries, anything like that. I mean, they're going to like. But because of that, knowing that, what we did is the first thing we introduced was a banana. But the very next thing that we did was like vegetables. And it was like vegetables 3-4 times in a row. Because we don't want to start giving too much fruit, because then, of course, they're going to like the heavy sugar stuff, and then when it comes to their veggies, potentially not want their veggies. So we did like carrots, sweet potato, which almost doesn't count because there's a little bit of sweetness to it. It's still very delicious, but we did some sweet potato. We gave them zucchini. There's probably more water than anything, but we wanted to give them, like I said, we were focused on the vegetables first before we finally went back and introduced mango for the next fruit. And then once he has that down, then it's like you can kind of we started mixing stuff. One of our go-to favorite things are yogurts and oatmeal, because those two things you can easily mix other fruits and stuff into it. So then you can start combining flavors. One of our little hacks for our oatmeal is we like to buy organic steel cut rolled oats, and then we put them in a blender so it blends into a fine little powder. And then all you have to do is mix water, and then all of a sudden you have oatmeal. So instead of buying like the baby cereal, that's probably might be bad for your kids, you can make your own, and you can buy it at bulk. It'll be cheaper if you can buy it at bulk. And we just keep it in a jar ready to go, so that if, hey, one day we don't feel like making breakfast or we forgot to prepare something, then all right, here's our backup emergency oats, and we'll combine it. I've done it with, I've been able to put almond milk to introduce an allergen food. I'll put some coconut water in it to help turn it into an oatmeal.
Logan and Luca both love the steamed asparagus. Serve them like that, speared with the spears.
Yeah.
And they devour them. And
they have so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's a little stick, but they have so much fun eating asparagus.
Yeah, they love it.
It's a favorite for sure. How we prepare this stuff, solid starts will help a lot on how you need to prepare food. Some stuff needs to be very soft for babies. Some stuff needs to be big. So it all depends. Everything varies. It just depends on the food that you have. In the very beginning, it's getting things soft enough. It's big pieces. Later on in the next months, then once they've developed and they've learned how to chew, then you're giving them bigger pieces, a little bit soft still, so that they can put it in their mouth and chew it and then be able to swallow it. And just if you get solid starts, it literally tells you everything on there and how you should be cooking and preparing your food for your baby. As for, I guess, items that we didn't really use any specific items to help us with baby lead weaning. We use a typical high chair. We use the bib the one that with the open bib, I guess you can call it, to help catch the food, because it will get very messy. Since you're giving them food, they are also learning to use their little pincer grab. They're using their fingers, and so they're either mashing stuff in their hand because they don't know how much force to put into it, or they're trying so hard to pick something up and it falls on the floor, or they pick it up and then they go to put it in their mouth and it falls off, and luckily, if you have that bib, it'll fall into that bib.
I think that's like my number one favorite thing for the thing that we use.
Yeah.
We call it his second lunch or his second dinner, because he finishes everything that's on his plate, and then he goes into the silicone bib to get all the leftovers.
Yeah, it's really cute. Suction plates that stick to the to the high chair. Highly recommend that. That way they don't have to create an even bigger mess. I know there's floor mats. We've never used a floor mat. We just pick up the food after, but there have been plenty of times where I wish I had a floor mat.
Or a dog.
Or a dog, yeah. So maybe you guys should look into that. We don't have experience with that. It might help.
Caesar won't let me get a dog.
It might help you guys. And then there are some little baby utensils you can use. We have one that has a very short. It's a big round.
Grasp.
I guess grasp body. Big round body that they can hold on to, but it has a little shield so that if they pick something up and they put it in their mouth, it stops. The shield stops them compared to a traditional long spoon. They're going to try to put it in the back of their throat, and then they start gagging themselves.
Yeah. And we'll link all of the items that we have in the description with our Amazon link.
Yeah.
So you can see it, just so it's easier, because I did so much research to find these items that if I can save you some time, then it'll be good. And I know we went through a lot of things today, and there's just a lot of information, and I know it can be overwhelming, but in the end, I think our biggest takeaway is just have fun with it.
Yeah.
As first-time parents, it's easy to just kind of put a lot of pressure on things and just feel like, oh my gosh, I got to get it down. But in the end, it's just fun. It's sharing food with your baby, and it's preparing them for a vital skill that they need.
Yeah.
So don't put too much pressure on yourselves and just
Yeah.
have fun. And
Well, definitely don't stress out, especially if you think they're choking. You want to stay calm, evaluate, make sure that they are choking because sometimes they're not. And then just remember everything you've learned, or if you know CPR, then go through what you need to go through. If you have the vac, then take it out, or maybe even have it ready in case, if you don't want to take that risk, just have it ready to the side so you feel comfortable. The beginning is definitely, they're going to make a mess, and it's more about exploration because they're learning. You're teaching them how to eat, so they're learning how to get a grasp. They're learning how to use their fingers. They're learning to put things up into their mouth. They're learning how to chew. So they're probably not eating a lot. They're not getting much food. It's in the beginning, they're just trying to learn. So don't stress about like they didn't even eat the strawberry that I put there for them. It's like, no, the point is, guess what? They chew. There's a little piece chewed off. Perfect.
That's a win.
They learn. It's a win. They're learning how to do something. Yeah. So, and don't compare yourself to others. You can't compare yourself to us. We're just using this. We're not making this video to brag. We're just using this video as a source. We're hoping that it'll help give the next parent confidence. We're hoping that it will just, if someone's on the fence and they see our video and they're like, all right, I'm going to try it. That's all we hope to accomplish. We don't hope to show you guys that our baby is a best eater or whatever and yours is not. No, that's not the purpose. The whole purpose is we just want to help out any parents. We just want you to know we've been there and we're here to help. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave any questions in the video in the comments. We'd be happy to answer anything that any questions you might have, or let us know what you did.
And don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful at all. Send it to someone that you think will benefit from it, and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
We have a lot of lifestyle and parenthood content. Yeah. So follow us if that's something that resonates with you, or if you just want to go through this journey with us.
Yep.
But yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. We appreciate it. We hope you guys have an amazing baby-led weaning journey. And we look forward to hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for just some more upcoming videos.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good day.